Oh, we're up.
Okay, and we're back.
Joe Cioffi, Fios 1 News, Long Island, New Jersey.
And Joe Rayo, Fios 1 News, Lower Hudson Valley. Happy 2 months past Christmas.
Yes.
Joe.
It's going quick.
February 25th.
It's going quick. And speaking of which, we're going to go quick because we got a late start tonight, a little bit of a delay. Stuff had to get done. So I'm sure everyone is just anxiously waiting for the new NAM, for the 5 flakes or so that we'll wind up getting.
Well, it looks like a light. One thing for the, if you're a snow lover, one thing that this particular disturbance has that most of the others have not, is that it looks like it's going to stay snow from the get-go. It does not look like we're going to be changing over to ice or sleet or rain. And certainly with the cold air that is going to be in our area for much of this week, especially Wednesday, every flake is going to stick. And while it's not going to be the heaviest of snows,
look, if we can put down something,
it's going to be a cheap thrill.
This is the kind of system. If this were a normal winter, or if this were an active winter, given what the parameters are, I would not have any trouble at this point calling for at least a couple of inches in some places. I would probably take the stab at it, especially for Long Island, because I think this is one of these situations where maybe the further east you go on Long Island could wind up with a bit more. But because of the way the winter has been, it wouldn't surprise me if this winds up being nothing more than a coating to an inch at most in some places. But this is the new NAM, which brings, it actually brings what looks like, if this is supposed to be the radar presentation, Joe, on this run, it's been coming a little further south with every run, ever so slightly. And here we are. So this is at 7 o'clock in the evening. And this is at 10 o'clock, and this is at 1 a.m. Shall we dare hit the key one more time for 4 a.m.?
Sure, why not? Let's see. Well, it sounds beginning to lighten up and break up a little bit.
And then it's gone after that.
Right.
All right, so let's look at how much precip it generates. We'll look at the maps, and then I'll pull up the foos off camera. We'll see what this goes.
Well, if it's 10 hours, let's say 10 hours of steady light snow, and we've got, I don't know, a quarter of an inch an hour, let's say, perhaps.
Well, it looks like it gives, I'm just trying to read this, 5, 10, 15. It looks like it gives about 2/10 of an inch of liquid across northern New Jersey and about 2/10 of an inch of liquid for Suffolk County and a little less in between. So yeah, it gives 1 to 2/10 of liquid. That would be that would certainly be up to a couple of inches. And as you said, every this time around, it's all going to be at night. Temperatures are going to be cold. Probably won't get much above freezing on Wednesday for highs. I only went for a high of 30, 31, 32.
Well, in the Hudson Valley, I went a bit colder. I actually went 20 to 25 or so.
Yeah.
Thereabouts. But you know what? I mean, this does not look like a 10 to 1 ratio. This could be like a 12 or 14 to 1 if it really turns out to be cold, and that could loan itself to the puff factor and maybe 10 at 2/10 of an inch into maybe 3 inches of snow for some.
Well, here's what I did, if I can find it. I had it up here before. Hold on a second. You know what? I'll wait to pull it up off camera in terms of what I went for snow amounts. My snow forecast is out there somewhere. So let's go back to the NAM. And you know what? The 10 to 1 snow map might actually work this time around.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a 2-inch print there in Rockland County, and that lighter blue is between 2 and 3. So if you want to believe it, over again eastern half of Suffolk County, and this pocket that it has of 2/10 of an inch of liquid over northern New Jersey. Now I actually I drew a 1-inch line across New York City and went an inch or higher north of there, and 2 inches as you start to get up further to the north of the Hudson Valley. The NAM, I think, is kind of supportive of that.
Yeah.
Are you okay with this?
Well, if I
here, hold on. You want to get on the? Let me bring this.
Well, I could move my.
Yeah, you foos away.
Okay.
It's 9:44. We got time. This is so exciting, folks, isn't it? In the meantime, I'm going to bring this up full screen. Joe's going to pull the numerical
the
tabular NAM model. In the meantime, I'm going to a 2-shot here.
Okay.
So you're there.
Right.
So I'm going to run to the board and see if anybody has any interesting questions. Oh, look, my top fans are on. Mark Salzano, nice to see you. Matt Boder, see you tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock at Hawkins Path School for the youngins and their new weather setup that they have. Can't wait to see it. Jason Schaefer, William Huber, Christopher Timlin, Nadia Post. Nice to see everybody. A lot of the top fan folks are coming on. That's a good thing. By the way, you top fans, you're going to get a little bit of extra peppering of stuff along the way. So that's only that you guys are only going to get to see. So just so you know, and every day Facebook, apparently once a week, Facebook updates the top fan stuff and adds more top fans. So it's a cool thing. It's not me.
They're giving only about a tenth of an inch for LaGuardia, Joe.
Right. Well, they're in that hole. They're in that little hole there, and it's like 2/10 on either side of that. But you know what? The vertical motions aren't bad. If it's a tenth of an inch, and as you said, the ratios will probably be higher. That could be a quick inch to an inch and a half. Why not?
I do not disagree. I agree with you fully.
Even gives 2/100ths to Philly. What does it give to amazing? We're here scribbling over 2/100ths of an inch of liquid. It gives Boston 23/100ths. So
yeah, that could be a nice.
That could be a nice 3-incher for them.
For them, that's going to coincide with their morning commute. So
yes, this is going to be overnight Wednesday night. So all you sun anglists, okay, you're
not going to get any help from the sun,
right? You're not. You're going to be disappointed, okay, because the sun angle doesn't work at night. You might not realize that, but just in case there was some question, all right? The street light angle, on the other hand, is a completely different matter.
I hear moon does good work this time of year.
Yes, it does.
But the moon is only going to be a crescent, so it's not going to help much.
All right, so look, just really fast, let's give everybody... there's a couple of weak systems in play this week, and that's all I think they're going to be. The other thing is, Joe... I'm thinking that we're going to have... All right, so here's the wider view of the NAMs. Here's the first system that goes out, okay?
Now, people may get excited because it may start snowing in the early afternoon on Wednesday, and here it comes, but then we get into actually a bit of a break as it kind of retreats back to the north, and then the second surge comes down during the overnight hours of Wednesday.
There's a weak system in the southern stream here that doesn't get involved. That northern stream system kind of dives southeastward. The low just sort of innocently reforms offshore and just goes out. The flow aloft, Joe, it's amazing how flat it is. It's just this almost pancake west to east. It's like a stack of pancakes, right, one on top of the other. I mean, here's what it looks like in the upper air. It's just this. There's these weak short waves that go by. You see, folks, if you follow along these wet reds, the reddish brown streaks, okay, that streak that you see across Montana and North Dakota, that's the system for Wednesday night into Thursday. It's just basically very flat. You can hardly pick it out.
A wrinkle.
Yeah, the one for Friday also looks weak. Again, can hardly pick it out. The other thing I was thinking of, Joe, is that... and here's the thing for the weekend and into next week. You've got this strongest energy waits till Thursday night to come into the northwest. You've got that rotating upper low. Mm-hmm. Now, up until now, the models, the GFS in particular, was phasing it with this and taking a fairly strong low to the Great Lakes. Starting earlier today, and it continues today, it keeps it all separate and just streaks it eastward for another system over the weekend. I think this could wind up going back to the idea of something cutting to the Great Lakes over the weekend instead of seeing a flat low like it had here, going out underneath us. I think it could still wind up being what the old Icon model did, where you wind up with a low that goes up to the west, up to the Great Lakes. That's what the GFS has been doing for days now, and now it's backed off. The European is flat as a pancake too. I mean, I can't rule anything out, but we've been sending lows to the lakes. Why should this one be any different for this coming weekend?
Well, the difference is that in looking at the European, I looked at the operational model for 12Z for temperatures, and unlike many of the other similar situations, similar in terms of synoptic pattern of the storm going up to the Great Lakes. In this particular case, the European actually brings warm air, or much milder air, into our area on Saturday and pushes that 32-degree line well to the north, as opposed to all the other times where that 32 line was very begrudgingly moving past us, and we stayed in the cold air enough so that we actually had frozen precipitation for a while. But this one looks like it could turn out to be more of a rain event with that 32-degree line moving northward.
You know, the upper air actually is kind of, cold Saturday morning. The zero's all the way down into Virginia, but it must briefly move up north. Then by Sunday, of course, with that low gone, it actually turns pretty cold behind it.
And the wind machine may turn on again on Sunday.
Well, if we wind up with another low cutting up to the Great Lakes, and if it intensifies a little bit, yeah, I agree with you. That may very well be the case. All right, so folks, usually we have a little bit more time to take a look at stuff, but we're already at 9:50, which means that Joe and I have things to do at the top of the hour.
Yes, you have to take care of Long Island and New Jersey on FiOS 1 News, and I have to be on the lower Hudson Valley end of things on FiOS 1 News as well.
And that's right. You just already covered for me, so I don't have to say it.
Yes, you don't have to say it.
I'm sorry.
Do the whole thing here.
Okay, so the worst of the wind is done. We're already seeing the wind starting to ease. It's still a bit on the breezy side outside, but it's not crazy windy like it was last
Christopher
night.
Timlin has already given up, I guess. He's already looking forward. He says it's only 246 days until next winter.
All right. Well, you know what? Look, the bottom line is we're running out of time, and I honestly believe, Joe, after we get through the first week to 10 days of March, that Pacific jet's going to come back in, and we're going to just...
The fire hose.
We're going to warm up.
Yep.
And the Atlantic fire hose is there in place, too, so that means things can't move up the East Coast. They come out of the Gulf of Mexico, they're going to want to shoot out straight to the east, and they're not going to want to move northward. So, all right, let's leave it at that, folks. Have a great night. We'll keep you up to date on all the goings-on weather-wise during the day tomorrow. Regular posts, live streams, the app, Patreon, YouTube, the kitchen sink. It's all there. Right?
Right.
All right. And he downloaded the app on his phone.
Actually, yes.
He really did.
My wife downloaded the app on my phone.
He did. And they get notifications and everything at 3 o'clock in the morning. They're loving it. Good night, everybody.
Have a good one.